Yo, guys, what up, man? This is your boy Kofi with KO Sports Talk back at with another video. Today's hangout. This is KO Sports Hangout, and it's been a while since I've done a hangout. I've just been been busy, but I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of this hangout video and kind of talk about um, kind of some things with the Chicago Bears. I didn't even get my ticker symbol ready. But yeah, man, guys. I just kind of wanted to do this video to kind of talk about what's been going on with the Chicago Bears and the off season, and kind of like what's just been going on in the NFL overall. Um, of course, the conference championship just wrapped up. It's going to be the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Kansas City Chiefs going at it in the Super Bowl. That conference championship games was pretty good. The Eagles ended up blowing out the San Francisco 49ers. Initially, the game was pretty close in the first half, but like when Brock Purdy went down, I already knew the game was over. I already knew that the game was already over. The moment Brock Purdy went down, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. Uh, San Francisco's looking really down bad right now. When they put in that quarterback Johnson in, I'm like, yeah, this guy's not good at all. And the second half was a complete domination by the Eagles. They scored like more than 20 points in that game, and that's all she wrote. 31 to 7. But and also with the Kansas City game and the Bengals game, that game was pretty tight. I thought, going into halftime, I thought it looked like Kansas City was going to go away and pretty much blow out the Cincinnati Bengals because up into halftime, they were up 13-3. And then second half, when Kansas City had the ball, Patrick Mahomes fumbled the ball. I think it was like 13-13 up until that point. Or no, was it 2013 or 13-13? Yeah, it was 20-13. And then Patrick Mahomes, with the one leg, he fumbled the ball. Cincinnati, marched down the field and scored. And the game was tied. It was pretty close. No one scored. And then Chris Jones, when Cincinnati got in the ball with about maybe, I think, 2 minutes left, it looked like Cincinnati was going to score. But Chris Jones, he made a big play, and he was able to sack Joe Burrow. Kansas City gets the ball back. And then on, I think it was toward midfield, Patrick Mahomes on 3rd and 4 scrambles. No one was open, scrambles. And he hits a first down. And then while he gets when he gets out of bounds, a Cincinnati player freaking hits him, and he ended up getting penalized. And so now Kansas City's in field goal range, and once they get in field goal range, Harrison Butker, he kicks, I think it was a 51-yard field goal, and yeah, Kansas City ends up winning. So now we're going to the Super Bowl. Kansas City, they're 1.5 underdogs, 1.5 point underdogs going into the Super Bowl. Of course, the Eagles are 1.5 point favorites. And I mean, I got my money on Kansas City. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to win his second championship in 5 years? His second Super Bowl in 5 years. And that's pretty impressive with his young career, man. 2 Super Bowls. Well, 3 Super Bowl appearances in 5 years is already impressive enough. But 2, yeah, man, it's going to really solidify his name on top of the NFL pantheons of NFL quarterback greats. But That's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the Chicago Bears. That would also make me salty if Kansas City wins because, I mean, there are also reports of Patrick Mahomes saying that he wanted to come to the Bears. But I also talked about even if he did come to the Bears, I don't know if it'll make much of a difference. But anyway, guys, going into the Bears offseason, I want to talk about the front office, how they said that they want that they're sticking to Justin Fields and they're going to trade their number one overall pick. That they're sticking with Justin Fields and they're planning to trade their number one overall pick for this upcoming draft in April of 2023. So my thoughts on it, I thought this is a brilliant move by Ryan Poles because there's so much chatter about, Ryan Poles, he's going to draft Bryce Young, that he's going to trade Justin Fields to another team because he only has 2 years left of his contract, and it's not going to be enough time, to kind of build the team, especially, coming up in his contract, with the next 2 years left on his contract before he becomes an unrestricted free agent. You know, the Bears. They're saying the Bears won't have enough cap space to sign other players to help improve this team overall. But I don't think that's the case, because Justin Fields, he's proven enough to thrive in a mediocre to how did I say it? Yeah, a mediocre to trash ass team. With a bunch of role players, some role players that have been pretty much just taken off the street, and the fact that he was able to play with guys like such as Dante Pettis, freaking Amir Smith Marset, guys like who's it, Trevon Wesco, like Byron Pringle. Byron Pringle was hurt most of the year, and he's already gone. Equinemius St. Brown, even though he really can't catch to save his life, I mean he's been serviceable. Dante Pettis definitely had his ups and downs, man. A lot more downs than ups. But that's besides the fact. The fact that Justin Fields was able to play with this patchy behind that patchy offensive lineman to play with sub to mediocre level wide receivers, even when Darnell Mooney went down, like just shows you how much of a player he is, how good of a player he is, And another thing that also kind of bothered me was also the Pro Bowl. I think shout out to John Zagul. The fact that freaking a backup quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, Tyler Huntley, was able to go to the Pro Bowl is beyond me. It's just utter blasphemy. I mean, the fact that the Pro Bowl, a lot of these Pro Bowl events, the last couple years, the Pro Bowl events has pretty much just been washed down. It's been a freaking joke, just like the NBA All Star. That's a freaking joke. The Pro Bowl is a freaking joke because they have all these players, right, that voted to have Tyler Huntley of all people be in the Pro Bowl. Tyler Huntley. Let me read you off a stat from Tyler Huntley, man. Let's read off Tyler Huntley's stats, right? Tyler Huntley stats, right? Let's read off this guy's stats, man. Shit, man. Tyler Huntley, man. Let's check his stats out. This is embarrassing. Like, this guy, he had a Pro Bowl, a Pro Bowl vote over Tua Tagovailoa, over Justin Fields. I mean, come on. Yeah. Let's read off his stats. Okay. So he has a completion percentage of 67%, 658 yards, His yards per carry is 5.9, 2 touchdowns or 3 interceptions. And this guy only started what? 4 games. 4 games, guys. He only started 4 games. Like 4 games. And he's a backup quarterback. But Tua Tagovailoa, right? Who led the league in QBR, right? Number 1 in QBR. Let's check his stats out. Number 1 in QBR. 3,548 yards, 8.9 yards per attempt, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. What's his QBR? What was his QBR? Yeah, man. No, that's not really showing me anything. What was his QBR? QBR rating. Hold on, give me a second, guys. I'm trying to look up his QBR rating right now. ESPN. Okay, he was third in QBR. 68.7. Third in QBR. Third in QBR, man. That's impressive, man. That's very impressive. And you had Tyler Huntley, of all people, start over him. That's freaking ridiculous, man. And Justin Fields. Justin Fields could have been a QB alternate. He had 17 touchdowns, accounted for 25 total touchdowns, accounted for over 3,000 total yards, almost broke Lamar Jackson's record. He was 7th overall in rushing record, broke multiple NFL records, and he still was not considered for a Pro Bowl. He still was not considered for a Pro Bowl. You know? Sorry. Just goes to show you, man, like the Pro Bowl is a freaking joke. The Pro Bowl is a joke, man. And I feel like Justin Fields, he has done enough. Pretty much, he has turned chicken crap to a chicken salad. And he's made a dumpster out of a complete artwork. He turned a complete dumpster fire of a team into a competitive team. Like, if we didn't have Justin Fields on this team, we'll pretty much would be 0-17 right now. Literally. With the way our defense was gutted, like when we traded Roquan Smith and when we traded Robert Quinn, I mean, literally, that's when our team went to complete hell. And Justin Fields literally was the only person on this team that kept this team relevant, was the only person on this team that made the Bears relevant, that made the Chicago Bears something to talk about. Every time you see him on ESPN, you'll see him on First Take. Oh, man, look at what Justin Fields has done. Did you see that nice pass he's made? You know, he made that Patrick Mahomes-esque throw. Because Justin Fields is the main attraction. Justin Fields is him. He is the show. It's not Cole Kmet. It's not Darnell Mooney. Not David Montgomery. Not even Khalil Herbert. No. It's freaking JF1. JF1. JF1 is the truth. JF1 is a franchise quarterback. He is. He's something to talk about. And the fact that he was not even considered, not even one vote considered to be in the Pro Bowl, just shows you how stupid this NFL is. Because how are you going to keep talking about him, like saying, oh, like, man, he's this great player, you know, broke all these records, man. Like, oh, like, look at that play he made against the Miami Dolphins, how he was able to stop himself from mid-air when he was throwing that ball. And he was able to run up the field for like 61-yard touchdown. It's like it's beyond me, man. But Kudos to Ryan Poles in the front office, trying to keep, Justin Fields. So a number of things, there are a number of teams that have been in talks with the Chicago Bears. One in particular is I believe it is the Tennessee Titans. Um, they're pretty much a dark horse team to probably trade up for the number one pick, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt the Bears are going to trade all the way down from 1 to 11 because I think they're slotted to pick 11th, and I don't think they're going to pick. I don't really think they're going to pick that far, go down from 11, because even if they like the Tennessee Titans literally will have to give up a farm, like at least 3 first round picks every year, 2020, 2024, 2025, 2026, in order to go down. I don't think they're going to do that. But, with Tannehill, with the injured Tannehill, and the fact that Malik Willis, he hasn't made any type of progression, Tennessee Titans are definitely going to be desperate for a quarterback. And another thing, of course, the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans, they're vying to get that number one spot. The Indianapolis Colts, Chris Ballard, he's talking about we will do anything we can to get the quarterback that we want. Exactly. What's up, ITB? What up, man? Yo, a lot of games we lost was close, all because of Justin Fields as a QB. They need an online. And think about it, ITB. Think about it, man. Like some of the games, half of the games, more than half the games, which were one-score games, were due to because of a missed fumble or a missed pass by but not Dante Pettis, but Equinemius St. Brown, a missed penalty call by the referee when Chase Claypool was freaking draped over like 2 defenders. The fact that Amir Smith-Marset fumbled that damn ball against the Minnesota Vikings. The fact that what's his name? Velus Jones fumbled a ball against the New York Giants, fumbled a ball against the Washington Commanders that would have put us up in one of those games. I mean, we probably would have been 10-7 at best, 10-7, 9-8, fighting for the playoffs. Like half of the games were one-score games, and the fact that, and also let's not forget that Packers game in Soldier Field. If it wasn't for that ticky-tack conservative play calling that Luke Getsy was making, we probably would have just dominated the Packers. But we had a mission. Ryan Poles, he had a plan, and definitely his plan is going accordingly. So it seemed like more than half of these losses were definitely planned, and Justin feels like he definitely wanted to win those games, man. But Ryan Poles was talking about how he wants to build through the draft, how he wants to accumulate a lot of draft picks, how he wants to get young, athletic, and explosive with this team. And yeah, that's what he's doing. That's definitely what he's doing, man. And like I said, man, and like also, and especially with Tom Brady retiring, that also puts the Raiders up for contention to probably trade up. And what other team? Yeah, I think the Raiders. That's the only team that I can think of. But yeah, it definitely impacts the Raiders' plans of trying to get a quarterback. And so they probably might trade up their candidate. That might trade up. Who else? I don't think the Lions are really going to really do anything. They're number 6. I think they're going to stick with Jared Goff, because of course he made the Pro Bowl. And Brett Holmes, he's a stickler for he played a big role in drafting, being a part of that draft when they drafted Jared Goff, and so I think they're gonna stick with him. But I really do think the Bears. I don't think they're really gonna move down past the top 5 pick. It's either gonna be Houston, in my opinion. It's gonna be the Houston Texans, or the Indianapolis Colts. Those are one of the two teams I think that are really going to compete for that number 1 spot. Those are the only two teams that I can think of. Other than that, any team way out of the top 5 pick, I don't think they're going to have a chance. Um, but I'm going to be here for maybe a couple more minutes. It's probably until like 25. But I also want to talk a little bit about the Chicago Bulls, how they're doing. The Chicago Bulls, of course, they've been playing inconsistently, very inconsistently. Um, um, of course, it's 2-3-23. People are making a big deal about 2-3-23. The year of Jordan, of course, number 23. But I mean, I haven't been following too much of the Chicago Bulls, but one thing I do know, why Brady retired, Tampa Bay might be looking to trade up as well for that first pick. Poles on top right now. Exactly, man. Poles is definitely on top, ITB. We're definitely on top. And so, I mean, yeah, man, the Bears, they definitely have all the leverage going into this offseason. We have, I believe, under 100 million. I think we have like 94, 95 million. I think we have that because of I think we made some re-signings, with the rookies, and then we also re-signed Equinemius St. Brown to that 1-year deal, and so that kind of like made our cap go down a little bit. But I mean, we're still gonna have enough money to sign some big free agents like Deron Payne. Like we could also sign Javon Hargraves, who's also going to be a free agent. Oh yeah, and then also that ITB, we can also trade for now that Brady's retired, we could probably trade for one of those two wide receivers, Mike Evans, or Chris Godwin. Now that Brady is retired, because man, we already know, man, freaking Kyle Trask, man, he's definitely not the answer at QB. I mean, definitely Tampa Bay. They're definitely going to be looking for a QB also, but I highly doubt. I mean, I highly doubt that they are going to. I highly doubt the Bears are going to trade with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because I mean, they literally have to give up like a farm. Literally have to give up the whole city of Tampa Bay if they want to trade up to the number 1 pick. But that's neither here nor there, man. ITB. But like I said, man, going into like I said, with my Chicago Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, man, like they've been playing so inconsistently. Certain games, do you see that they're up 20 points, right? So they play very competitively in the first half. At times running the they're running the game through Nikolai Vucevic, and I don't know why they keep moving away from it, but they should stick to that, because Nikolai Vucevic, whenever they play through them, they always win games. But whenever they play away from him, for some reason they lose. What up, ITB?
What's up, man?
What's good,
Well,
bro?
yeah, nothing much, man. Just got home.
Oh,
Just
you
seen your
did?
live stream. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
what's good? What's the word, man? What's the word?
yeah. I want to see. There's no way. We talking about the GM. It's no way that he can mess this up. He
Mm-hmm.
got the number one. He can trade down if he wants to get a number of players. But what I'm think he
Mm-hmm.
gonna do, he can draft some. He can go ahead and draft some more some players. To fix up that O line, and
Yeah.
he got money, and then you got the cap space where you can bring some veterans up in there to show the
Mm-hmm.
younger players, the rookie players, how to play.
Right.
So he's in
Exactly.
a good spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, like Ryan Post, he's always been preaching. He definitely wants to build through the draft. And look at his track record. I mean, like he's definitely built that Kansas City team into a contender, a perennial contender. So we're hoping that he can come in and do the same thing that he did with the Kansas City Chiefs that he can do for the Chicago Bears, build them up to be a perennial contender. Because outside of that 1 year that the Bears had that success in the 2018, the Bears have been mediocre. With when Ryan Pace was GM for the team when he took over in 2015. Like outside that 2018 team, the Chicago Bears have been mediocre, and that's not what we want our team to be. And the fact that we definitely have Ryan Poles, he's trying to do whatever he can to help the team, and the fact that we also hired Kevin Warren, somebody outside of the McCaskey family. This is something that's different. Like it's like a different energy about this Chicago Bears. But we'll see, man. We'll definitely see what's going to happen this off season because I feel like this off season, like I said, like my previous video that I made, I said this is going to be one of the most important off seasons in Bears history, and that's all. That's solely going to hinge on what type of decisions, what type of scouting that Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham and also Luke Getsy, because Luke Getsy is also going to be coaching that Senior Bowl. What type of players that he's going to bring in, that's definitely going to fit this offense. Definitely is going to fit the type of offense Luke Getsy is going to run, man.
Definitely. I hope they
Mm-hmm.
don't. It's a lot of dance for Gasly that he's also people was eyeballing him for
Mm-hmm.
head coaching job, and he got a future with that. Most
Mm-hmm.
definitely. I just hope we don't be. I hope they don't do like they did with Jay Cutler. He been coming out on why that certain seasons it was bad and was good because they keep switching the coordinators. And he
Right.
stated like I'm one year I gotta learn how to speak Spanish. Next year I gotta speak
Italian, right?
Chinese. Yeah, it's like
I
it's
speak
it's a different.
Chinese, right? I'm like, you gotta at least give Justin Fields and Luke Getsy at least maybe 2 to 3 years before he can you know um get a head coaching job because like how is he getting all these head coaching jobs after 1 year? 1 year of freaking doing play calling. Give him at least 2 to 3 years before you can do that. Because he's still like Justin Fields. He's still gotta really know about this offense. It's still fresh in his mind. He's still new to this, and so you at least got to give him at least maybe 2 to 3 years because anything you do, it takes like about 2 to 3 years to master anything you do. So I'll say, man, like the NFL, they kind of need to chill on like trying to get Luke Getsy to become a head coach because I mean, you got to at least give Justin Fields some time to kind of master this offense or give some time for this team to master this, not just Justin Fields, but like the team as a whole to master this offense, man. But we definitely will see. We
Yeah,
definitely will see, man.
I was talking to my even my father. He's a Kansas City fan, but he was born in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
I was born here in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and he was actually comparing Justin Field his rookie season to Michael Jordan when he was on playing basketball for the Bulls. Because
Mm-hmm.
he had it because Michael Jordan he had
Michael
it
Jordan had
rough
a
when he
trash
came in.
ass team, right?
He was literally the only one that was on that team.
Mm-hmm.
He even had the pistol. They had the Jordan rule. And you knew
Mm-hmm.
what that consists of.
Mm-hmm.
Double team, triple team, knock them, do some
Right.
whatever.
Jordan rules. Yep. Yep. And then guess what? Like when I think who drafted him? I think it was Rod Thorne that drafted Michael Jordan. Kind of like so it's kind of like Ryan Pace. He drafted Justin Fields, but like after Rod Thorne left, Jerry Krause took over, and Jerry Krause was able to kind of build around Jordan and get him the help that he needed to win 6 championships. Now let's see what Ryan Poles does to really help Justin Fields. Let's see what he's gonna do to really help Justin Fields because yeah, you may have a great player, you may have a great franchise quarterback, but if you don't give him the necessary to help him be a successful quarterback, all his accomplishments is not going to mean a damn thing. Look at what the Miami Dolphins did with Dan Marino. I mean, Dan Marino was a franchise quarterback, but the front office they didn't give him the capable help to help him to succeed and take his game to the next level. Even though he had a great coach, but I mean, outside of that one time where he went to the Super Bowl, he really didn't do nothing. But I mean, I really hope that Ryan Poles he really does like because like I said, this is going to be the like most important off season in Bears history. You know, I really mean that. But I mean, now that Brady is retired, now speaking of Brady, I mean, do you think that the Chicago Bears should think about trading for like Mike Evans or Chris Godwin? Like, what do you think about that, man?
Yeah, I don't know. They got a lot of stuff to a lot of options with that number one draft pick because you got a lot of quarterback needy teams. Like you had the Tennessee Titans, you might have the
Mhm.
Ravens. They Las Vegas Raiders. They just departed from David Cobb, so they might be looking for one.
Yeah,
You
Derek
know,
Carr. Yeah,
it's a lot. Even maybe the New York Jets because they having a quarterback problem as
right.
well. They trying to get a true. They looking to move on from the bus.
They're
Especially,
trying to trade for Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, that could work, but it depends on the. I don't know. I think that man should retire, man. He's not the same as he was 10 years ago.
Right.
Straight up.
He ain't that bad man. Stephen A. always talks about.
Yeah, he's not as bad. And then you got Justin Field in a C.
hmm
And then you have Kirk Cousins, then you got Jared Goff. It's like you can't compete with them guys like that, like
hmm
consistently at the age of 40.
hmm
You know, it's gonna
Right,
be
and
a
he's
hard
not Tom
climb.
Brady. He ain't like Tom Brady, man. Come on.
No, he ain't gonna pull
Tom
over.
Brady's the exception.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be pulling no seven champion Super Bowls, man. He's not.
Right.
He
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 ain't gonna
he
be
been Yeah, he's like the MVP of playing regular season football. When it comes to the playoffs, he trash. He choke all the
exactly.
time.
Exactly. And look who we have here. Freaking Don Burr. Detroit sent Rodgers out of the North, period.
Yeah, get
Man,
them boys out the playoffs.
yeah, they did. I mean, Don Burr. I mean, our quarterback is better than your quarterback, so that's that. But what was I going to talk about? I mean, yeah, we definitely have, and oh yeah, and also the Washington Commanders, man. What do you think about Deron Payne, man? Because Deron Payne, he's definitely going to be a free agent, man. That guy's a beast, man. I mean, I checked out some of his stats. Deron Payne, he had 11 and a half sacks. Um, Let me see. I'm gonna read off his stats.
Oh, they can
Right.
definitely do something with
Yeah,
that type
man.
of talent.
That
Cause
guy, man.
when we got rid of Robert Quinn, even though he was the agent,
Right.
it just went downhill. Like you giving away your I kind of understand it. They gave away a lot of their valuable player on defense, but they were looking more into the future in this rebuild, and they
Mm-hmm.
mainly focused on building talent around on Justin Field.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what they doing. They just don't want to be having dealing with nobody that's trying to get a extension, and you can't. Can you wait till like next year? Like we don't even got no cap space.
Right.
And it's
Exactly.
back and forth. It's like I wish he would have had an agent, both of them. Well, I already knew Robert Quinn. He gonna go because he was
And
like 32.
Roquan Smith, of course, he
Yep.
got the bag from Baltimore.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that. It's been rumored that he trying to come back here. It's
Oh no,
rumored.
he already got paid. He got paid by Baltimore. You didn't know about that?
Oh, I didn't know. I
Baltimore
thought it was.
paid him.
Oh, okay.
They got
I-
him. They gave him a 5 year, $100 million deal. So he's the highest paid linebacker.
Oh, okay. That's good for him. I don't think they're gonna. Chicago can't deal with that right now. They trying to build
Right.
around Justin Field because they know what they got here.
Right.
They is not trying to mess this up.
Yeah, but Deron Payne, he had 11 and a half sacks, 32 solo, 32 assisted, and damn, he had 17 tackles for loss. Oh shit, damn. Yeah, so that guy, man, he's a beast, and he's a D tackle.
Hmm.
he's a defensive tackle, so that's pretty tough, man. You know, like defensive tackles, they play in between the centers and the guards, and that's pretty tough to get a sack. You know, so for him to have an 11 and a half sacks, this guy is definitely a game record. And can you imagine, man, dude, if we had Jalen Carter, right, Deron Payne or Will Anderson in that front seven, man, dude, they'll be wrecking games all season long, bro.
Yeah,
All season long.
yeah, that ooh man. That remind me that be like the back in the day, like I say about what 2008 9 when the Bears was when you had Julia Peppers up on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna lie, our defense was the shit.
Right, right. Or like in 2005 and 2006, like when we went to the Super Bowl, we had Tommy Harris, freaking Alex Brown, and we had Adewale Agunleye. Those guys, man. Oh my gosh, they were freaking game wreckers. So I mean, just imagine, man, like if you had like man Jalen Carter, freaking Deron Payne, or like let's say if you signed or like you get like a Will Anderson or like somebody who's like an impactful a pass rusher, man, dude. And then look at the teams that are in the Super Bowl. Like they have an effective defensive front seven. Like look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They got Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargraves, Hassan Reddick. Like if you go to the Kansas City Chiefs, they got Chris Jones, Frank Clark, like those guys, man. Those guys who are impactful defensive players. I don't care what anybody says. Defense does matter because I've been hearing some Bears fans saying, "Oh, they just need to solely focus only on offense." I'm like, if you're only solely focusing on offense, then like you're gonna be giving up points during, especially during critical times, critical drives. Because think about it, like if Kansas City didn't have Chris Jones, right, or if they didn't have like Frank Clark or Chris Jones on that front seven, Cincinnati would have won that game. Joe Burrow would have been in the Super Bowl if they didn't have Chris Jones. So you definitely have to pay attention to both sides of the ball. Like that's the name
Right.
of the game.
And I got criticized for this too. Like
Mm-hmm.
when 2 years ago when Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl, it was really their defense that was they were crunching it down. They
Right.
really they was out there destroying it. They destroyed it.
They were
Patrick
destroying
Mahomes,
Patrick
Aaron
Mahomes.
Rodgers, and man,
Right.
they owned them. They straight up
Mm-hmm.
owned them on that
Mm-hmm.
defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had
Exactly.
you had Aaron Rodgers old as running for his damn life. Come on,
Exactly.
bro.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And then also, with Patrick Mahomes, who's considered the best quarterback in the league, like he didn't have both of his tackles in that Super Bowl, and look what happened to him. They got dominated 31-9. Like Patrick Mahomes, like he looked like let's be honest, he looked like a Chicago Bear. I mean, he looked like Mitch Trubisky out there, like when 2020. Like no offense to Mitch Trubisky, but I mean, you saw what happened in that Super Bowl. Like he looked pretty bad because guess what? He didn't have his two tackles because both his tackles were hurt that season. Well, they both got hurt in the AFC Championship game, and then look what happened. Got dominated, 31-9.
Yeah, he didn't score a damn touchdown. The only
No,
thing he
not
was
a
kicking was
damn
field
touchdown.
goals.
Right.
So the most valuable player was the was the kicker, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's how that defense was rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was a defense who won Super Bowl MVP. I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because it was pretty much the whole defense. I mean, it was the defense, man. Definitely the defense that played a part in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning that Super Bowl. But
Yeah.
man, like I said, man, we're definitely gonna find out, man. What's going on? What's going to happen in this NFL draft, man? We're definitely gonna find out what's going to happen in this NFL draft, bro. But
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Because I think I'm gonna keep this kind of short. Um,
Not
anything
the
else you had in mind?
not the too much, man. I can only speculate what's gonna happen in the draft. It's like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. They could trade the number one to get a couple of picks, or they can just trade it to get like a valuable player from that first round pick because they don't need a quarterback because we already got one. I'm not trying to
Right.
hear the nonsense where they trying to trade away Justin Field to
Mm-hmm.
and get a rookie quarterback. Like
Mm-hmm.
if Justin Field was in the draft right now, he'd be number one,
Oh yeah,
hands
for
down.
sure, for sure.
You can't
I
trade
agree.
nobody. You can't trade no quarterback like that, man.
For sure, you're right. Especially that quarterback that good who almost beat Lamar Jackson's record for QB rushing yards, and who was seventh overall in the entire NFL in rushing yards.
Yeah, and have flashes of even passing the ball as well. You seen that
Mm-hmm.
with Mooney. You just
Mm-hmm.
didn't have it with Pedersen.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I forgot the guy Jones. June. I forgot what's his name.
Oh, Valens Jones Jr.
Valen
Valens
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah,
He dropped a couple passes, man. Couple critical passes, man.
yeah. I heard that he's doing off season. He got a jug machine, so he's trying to
Mm-hmm.
fix that. That's good for him.
Right. So I mean, we shall see, man. I mean, I mean, we should draft another wide receiver just in case. In my opinion, because I don't think we have a wide receiver one on this team, and we desperately need a wide receiver. So they definitely got to address it either in the draft or through trade because in free agency is not looking like it's not looking too good. It's looking pretty thin with wide
Yep.
receivers. So I mean, we're definitely gonna find out this offseason. And I mean, hopefully, I could stream the NFL draft. So yeah, man, we'll definitely see what's gonna happen, man. Definitely see what's gonna happen, bro.
It's gonna be real interesting, and I hope that we can actually come out because it's kind of reminds me of 2018 when we just came out of nowhere. We were just automatically good,
Right,
you know.
right. We went from worst to first, right?
Yep. And they gave what the coach of the year to Nat Maggie,
Matt Nagy,
Matt
yeah,
Nagy. I'm like, oh man, he kind
yeah.
of
I
took
can
formulas from damn, I forgot on John Fox. He took his formula and kind of rolled
hmm
with it, and a little bit of
hmm
staying from Kansas City as well.
hmm
But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here myself, man. You take it easy, man.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it, man. You're always welcome, bro.
No problem.
All
Peace.
right, all right, guys, man. This is your boy Kofi, man. I mean, if you don't have anything else to talk about, I think I'm probably just gonna end this stream. But yeah, guys, man, I'd like to thank y'all for joining in for this video. Stay tuned for more videos and more updates. I'm gonna be making more videos later on, and I'm also gonna be giving my predictions for the Super Bowl to see who's gonna be winning in the Super Bowl. But I'll catch y'all later, and like and subscribe for my content. But y'all stay safe, man. I'm out. Peace.